Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can't get this done this time. What we're going to do is learn about how to make a table of contents, and just not a regular table of contents, but a two-tiered table of contents, and after that you can make a three-tiered table of contents or whatever you want. When I tried to make table of contents in the past, it was rather difficult, and there was no one about to help me. And so I went ahead and learned it all on my own, and I'm about to show you how to do it, save you some time. As you can see, I've written a title here, All About Rocks, All About Rocks. And that will be the imaginary title of a book, the imaginary title, that will be the title of an imaginary book that I'm writing. So if you're writing a book or a longer paper, you'll need to know how to make a table of contents, and likely you'll need more than one tier in it. As you can see, Chapter 1 deals with the three kinds of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. And so I'm going to want Chapter 1 to be heading 1 in my table of contents. That will give it the number 1 in the pecking order of the table of contents, and igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks will be equally subordinate to it. They'll be heading number 2. Later, when I write Chapter 2, I will assign it the heading of heading 1 as well, and it will have equal standing in the hierarchy as Chapter 1. Well, as you can see, I've made metamorphic rocks here a little bit bigger. That's not a typo. There's a reason for everything I do. I'm going to show you why that is. All right, two-tiered table of contents. The first thing we want to do is to go to our inspector. Let me pretend that the inspector wasn't open then. And here's how you go to the inspector. By the way, when you have troubles in pages 09, very often the solution is right here in your friend the inspector. So you can click the circular icon here, the blue with the italicized I in it, or if that isn't there for some crazy reason, you can go over here to View and choose Show Inspector. That's Option Command I. So we have 3 ways to do it. Show Inspector, use the key command, or click in the toolbar here. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way and click in the toolbar here, and there's my inspector. See, turn it off, on, off, on. As you can see, by great fortune, fortuitously, we have arrived at the document portion of the inspector, where we will see TOC, table of contents. Now this needn't be so all the time. If you had last been in here with the text part of the inspector, that's what you would see. And you say, where's my table of contents? Well, just click here, the uppermost left icon on the inspector, and that will deliver you to the document section of the inspector, where things that affect the document in its entirety will be seen, like the table of contents or footnotes, or how much space is on the top of the page and on the bottom, that kind of thing. Well, I know you're looking forward to see the table of contents part. Let's click that tab. So, document, table of contents. And you can see that a lot of these headings are checked, and the checked ones, I believe that means, at any rate, that when they are used in your document, they will appear as part of the table of contents, only if you use them. Right now I have assigned no headings to any of this stuff, and so should I make a table of contents right now, it would be empty because there's nothing to put in it. I haven't assigned any hierarchy. Let's go right over here to Chapter 1. Okay, as you know, I want that to be heading 1, but how do I get this heading 1 over to here? Next step, and here it is. We've already done Choose the Inspector, and actually we did no work there, but we will later. I just wanted to show you that. Let's open Styles Drawer and make heading 1. Styles Drawer. Well, I've already got the Styles Drawer open. Let's hide. Okay, I wasn't ready. Anyway, we go to View, and we can choose Show Styles Drawer. That's step number 2. Oh, now, if for some reason this isn't here, you can't find it, you can once again go to the View menu and choose Show Styles Drawer. That's Shift Command T. So you have 3 ways to look at this. All right. Well, anyway, let's go and open the styles drawer. Go to the view part on the toolbar. Show styles drawer. Ta-da! Oh, the inspector's in front of it. All right. Heading 1. Now I can select all of chapter 1 and click here, and that will assign the heading number 1, the highest in the hierarchy, to chapter 1 or to chapter 1. But I don't have to. I can just click one. I can just select one or two, one word or one letter, and it will assign it. That's because, my friends, whatever is assigned as a heading is done by chapter. I'm by paragraph. See the paragraph mark there and below? That means that chapter 1 is a true paragraph. And if you assign everything in the paragraph will be a part of the table of contents. So make sure that the thing you're assigning a heading has only one line, as we see here with chapter 1. I'll just select the E. Or I could just put the cursor in there. That would be enough. Let's click heading 1. Oh, it made it bigger. Well, we'll talk about how that is so, but I'm good with that. Hey, well, we've got another heading here, igneous rocks. Let's click heading 2. I just put the cursor in there. You can select it all if you want. Oh, it made it a little bigger too. I'm good with that. We'll worry about that later. Let's select all of this. Doesn't matter. I could select the I. Heading 2 again. All right, so they have it. Now, the reason I made metamorphic rocks a little bigger is because, as you can see, these look exactly the same, but they're not. They're not the same. Looks are deceiving. Metamorphic rocks, as you remember, I didn't assign heading 2 to it. Simply, its style looks as though it is heading 2. But if I click here, you see heading 2 is not highlighted. If I click here with sedimentary rocks, it is. If I click chapter 1, heading will become highlighted, and igneous rocks here. All right. So metamorphic rocks, I'll prove it to you, will not appear in the table of contents at all. Let me put my cursor right here in the middle. And by the way, this is the title of the book here, All About Rocks. They have a title part in the features for table of contents. Pretty ridiculous. All you have to do is type it, put the table below it. You can type your table of contents. You really don't need to have it done automatically for you. So I'm going to type the title all by itself. It has no coding to it. And now we're going to put the table of contents in there. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to insert it in. All right? I'm going to insert a table of contents, and we'll see chapter 1, igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and not metamorphic rocks, because I didn't assign it a heading. Let's go insert table of contents. You ready? It ought to appear right here. Ta-da! Chapter 1 seems to be bigger and bold. As you can see, we got the page numbers here. That's automatic. All right. Now, I want to show you one thing. You can double-click and select the entire table of contents. It has a big blue around it. Then you could erase it, bonk, or and you can just put it right back if you want. But that's one way to look at it. What if I click just chapter 1? Well, it will select chapter 1 alone, but if there were a chapter 2 with the same heading, it too would be selected. All right? So that's another way. You can select it by the whole table. You can select it by just the heading. These two have heading 2. I'll click on sedimentary igneous rocks, and they're both selected. Why? So I can change their style. I can go up here to the toolbar and click bold. Ta-da! I could make them italicized. I could change their font, if I wanted. But I think I kind of thought they looked okay that way. Let's leave them there. What's missing? Well, obviously, what's missing is little dots between the igneous rocks and the 1, and sedimentary rocks and the 1. Now, if sedimentary rocks was on page 2, you would say 2 here. But I'm doing everything on one page. You'll see. It'll automatically change. Okay. Oh, where's my metamorphic rocks? Let's click here and go to my styles drawer and put heading 2 for it. Well, nothing happened. Let's click here. Good. now it has included it. Everything's on page 1, but those will change automatically. And if you work on your book and have pages and pagination as you're working, come back here and double click on here to refresh the correct page numbers. Anyway, let's put these little dots between here. I want to put dots on all of the headings for chapter or for heading 2. Well, how do we do it? Well, I don't see any dots up here. I can make things bold and so on, and underlined and junk, but that's not really what I want. Let's go ahead and go to our inspector again. So, insert table of contents, edit table of contents, and let's create the leader dots. We go to, in the inspector again, oh, I turned it off rather than on. All right, let's go to our friend the inspector, and this time we're going to deal with text. So instead of document at the top left, we go 4 to the right where the big T is, and that's text. Now you have different types of tabs for the text. You have text, list, tabs, and more. Okay, here's text. That has different things to do, list, tabs. Well, tabs is where you want to go for your leader dots. Click here first, because leader is grayed out really here. I can't get anything to happen. But if you click here, leader will light up. There are none. Let's put these little dots. Ta-da! And now look. There are dots here. Let's do it again. None. Okay, we go to text, tabs, click here, and then choose the leader text, leader dots that you want. Isn't that nice? Now I could do the same thing up here with chapter 1. All right, I'm already with text, tabs. This has been selected, so I can go and choose these. But look how hokey it looks. As a matter of fact, you know, I even like that big bold one. I think it looks crummy. Maybe the designers didn't do a good job, or somebody knows something that I don't know about how to do this. And it looks awful. Fortunately, I have a trick for fixing that. First of all, I'm going to click chapter 1, and I'm going to get rid of these leader tabs by choosing none. All right? All right. And now, how do I get rid of this 1? You can select the 1 separately. But if you click delete, nothing happens. I'm clicking it. How the heck do I get rid of that? I like the idea of the chapter being here without the page number and the first part of it, which is truly the beginning of the chapter, the first of its subheadings. So I want to get rid of that 1. And so I have a workaround, a trick. It's down here, workaround trick. I'm going to make that page number white. Then you can't see it, and we have a more attractive appearance for this. Here's what I do. Stay in text, but instead of tabs, click text, text, text. T for text and T-E-X-T for text. Ta-da! Look what you see. It's black. That's black. Color and alignment. Let's click here. I'm going to turn it to white. Ta-da! It's all black. I'm going to drag this part here all the way over to the white. Look. What's this? Pages crashed. I think Pages crashed again. Oh no. It crashed. Oh, blast it. I can't get anything done. It did this last time. Well, here, we'll go fast and re-put everything in. Chapter 1, I'm going to look at my styles, the styles drawer, and I'm going to put heading 1. Igneous rocks, I'm going to put heading 2. Sedimentary rocks, heading 2. Metamorphic rocks, looks like it's set, but it's not. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to go in the middle here, go to insert, put in, I'm sorry I wouldn't go this fast in a million years on you, but I want to get back to where I was. Let's put the leader lines back in. All right, we go to our inspector, it's here. We go to text. This crashed last time. The whole computer crashed a minute ago. I paid $3,248 for this thing. It keeps restarting. All right, let's put in our let's run through it again. We go to text, tabs, click this tab stops, turn the leader to dots. I've already selected this part of the table of contents. We get our dots. Now I want to get rid of that 1 there. I can select it alone, fortunately. Go to text here, And then the tab text again. There's the color, and let's just go ahead and kill that. Now it's white. You can only see it when it's selected. Or if you had this unselected, you can't see it. Now, isn't that a more attractive appearance? Chapter 1 and so on. I think that's just fine. That'll do fine. Let's go ahead and put Chapter 2 in here and see if it'll appear in the Chapter 2. See if it'll appear there. I typed it. Let's select it. Go to my Styles drawer and choose Heading 1. There it is. Click here again, and we have Chapter 2. Look, it has taken the page number and keeps it white. Everything in Chapter 1 is the same with regard to style. Isn't that cool? So this is how you make your Chapter 2, let's say, rocks in building, rocks in America. All right, just making it up off the top of my head. Ta-dun, rocks in America, and so, ta-dun, rocks in America. So I'm doing that. By the way, as you know, if you put Chapter 2 on a different page, the number will change. Let me put a page break right here. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Insert page break, ta-dun. And so Chapter 2 is on page 2, and look, it changed to 2. So believe me, you will be able to have a book with the correct page numbers. But one thing to remember is as you add material or take out material in your book, the pagination's going to change. So you better come in here and double click on here. By the way, there are 3 ways to look at the table of contents. You can double click and you've selected the whole thing. Okay? Or you can just click one level and it will select both levels. So you can change them and maybe make them a little bigger like this. Whoop, I made it smaller. Make it a little bigger like this. All right, that's ugly, but whatever. You can change things if you like. One more thing I want to show you that's really cool. What if I want chapter 1 and Chapter 2? Let's get rid of this page break so we can see. Where's Chapter 2? Must have... there's Chapter 2. All right. What if I suddenly kind of like this font here, and I want all the chapter headings in the book to look like that? What you do is redefine style from selection. Oh, this is out of order here. But anyway, so I redefine it by selection. What I do is I go, say here, somewhere that isn't tagged as a heading, and I put, let's say, a fine day, a fine day, and doesn't matter what you type. I'm going to make this marker felt is the font I want, and let's make it say 24. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to turn it to marker felt. Marker felt. All right, and I'll make it 24. That looks pretty good. Now let's make it 36. That'll look good. All right. So I have now this style that I have selected it. So I want to change Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 to match that. All right. Now if I go into Heading 1, don't click here because that will turn this into a heading just like that. Go to this little triangle here and click in here, and you will see, click right in the middle of it, redefine style from selection. Now watch, the minute I do, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are going to have the appearance of this font and size. Watch. Ta-da! So you can change them globally by doing this. Again, what you are doing is redefining the style from selection. All right. So if If I wanted this bold, let's say italicized, well, that doesn't, that font won't go bold or italicized. But anything I change, if I wanted it to be, say, chalk duster, all right, then I redefine this style by clicking in here. Don't click that. Click here to redefine the style and watch. They'll all have this hokey looking look here. Chapter 1, Chapter 2. I liked it before with the Chapter 1 look that it had. So redefining file from selection is what you want to do. It takes a little bit of practice to do these things, but I know I've gone a little bit too fast than I like, but I hope you can get the idea from what we've done. One thing also, that I'd like to show you that I think is cool if you're working with a longer book. What you do is you go here and you view the thumbnails when you have your book done and you want to edit. Just an extra trick for y'all. Page thumbnails. There they are. Click here and you see the yellow selects by section. There's a section, it's only 2 pages, and then the rest of the book is all of this surrounded by the yellow by selection. That's not important. Let's go here. Once you click on the thumbnails, then you can push the down arrow. It's not an arrow, is it? It's a triangle, and you start pushing, and it goes page by page. And I think you'll find, and look, there's my table of contents, and you can go all the way around. And a cool thing about a table of contents, I think you may have to tag it for this, but if you click on the number 1, I think, let's go to 41. Ta-da! And it will go directly there. Isn't that cool? Then we click here again in our thumbnails, and we can go page by page to see the book. Isn't that cool? Another thing you can remember, click your cursor in the middle here. Be careful not to type any letters, but hold Command down and push the up triangle on the right bottom of your keyboard. Bonk. It goes to the beginning, and if I put the down arrow, it will go all the way to the end. So that's a very cool thing. Once again, click in the thumbnails, down triangle on the right bottom of your keyboard, right here. Hope you can see that, and up here. And then when you get into here, when you click a cursor into here, you're no longer in the thumbnails, and you can hold, what I do, nothing apparently, hold the Command key down and click down to get to the last page, page 170, and God, you know that book was that long. Anyway, so that's what you can do. A lot of fun things to do. Maybe I'll have some more exciting information for you later. As it is, I hope I didn't go too fast. I hate that. So many people go, okay, their idea of instruction is to point to a thing and then say, over here is the walking on water area. Over here we raise the dead, and right here is where we turn water into wine. Now make it into a souffle. You know, it's just pointed at all the features. Doesn't seem to be great instruction. Perhaps you don't think that mine was so hot either, but I'm trying. At least I'm doing that. Okay,